As China continues to assert its global and regional dominance, President Xi Jinping targeted relations with Taiwan in particular at the Communist Party Congress on Sunday. In his opening speech at the start of the party Congress, Mr. Xi said his government will continue to strive for peaceful reunification with Taiwan. But he said he will never promise to renounce the use of force and that he reserves the option of taking all measures necessary. Now, this comes as the U.S. continues to show its support for the self-ruled island. This with President Biden saying last month that the U.S. would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese attack. China has long made Taiwan a strategic priority, but the self-ruled island also has importance to other countries, including Canada. A new Macdonald Laurier report looks into the importance of Canada-Taiwan relations in particular. In it, author Scott Simon argues that Canada needs to do a lot more. Well, he joins us now to tell us more about this. Dr. Simon, welcome to Forum Daily.
Yep, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Now, the Chinese government has always deemed Taiwan as part of its territory,
Mhm.
but lately it's been pursuing unification more aggressively. So why is that?
Well, I think that first of all, it hasn't always been part of China, and the Chinese leaders have known that. In fact, in 1936, none other than Chairman Mao Zedong said to Edgar Snow that Formosa it was part of Japan back then, and he said that we would hope that they actually hoped that in their struggle for independence that they could get some hope from China, and so it has not always been part of China, and that was very clear. It was part of Japan.
So, what makes the Taiwan Strait an international issue? We're seeing a lot of
Yeah.
countries show support for Taiwan's case here.
Yeah, so I think what's happening is, well, first of all, we'll head back to China there, but on I think that she is pursuing this more aggressively right now because this fits into his domestic agenda very much. And so he's got so many problems at home, economic problems, of course, the COVID, they're trying to do a zero COVID policy. But this is really one issue that he feels um, can frame the Chinese Communist Party as bringing a solution. And so over the past few decades, they've basically brainwashed the Chinese people into believing that Taiwan is rightfully theirs. And and so he's trying to really show himself as the person who can protect China's interests against what they're framing as US intervention. And so what makes it an international issue? That's a very good question. Basically, it goes back to the end of World War II. And like I just said, that it used to belong to Japan. Well, Japan lost World War II. And as a result, the 49 countries got together in San Francisco and they negotiated the San Francisco Peace Treaty, which put an end to the state of war with Japan. And so during that peace treaty negotiation process, there was the issue of what to do with Taiwan. And actually, Canada was part of that, saying that, they sent a memo to Washington, and this got taken up, that the best way to deal with any controversies, because this was 1951 already, but who should get Taiwan, was to not specify it in the treaty. And as a result of that, it was not specified. That kind of got kicked down the road a bit, and then Tokyo signed with Taipei diplomatic relations, and so in a very real way, Taiwan became part of the Republic of China in that because of those treaties things, and because it is an international treaty with 49 signatory parties. This is an international issue. And so any change that happens is an issue for the international community. China likes to spin it as exclusively a domestic issue, but that is completely wrong from the viewpoint of the treaty history.
All right, Doctor. Got about a minute left here, but your report is looking into what Canada can do in this situation moving forward.
Mhm.
So, what kind of steps are you urging Canada to take here?
Basically, I think we should keep doing everything we're doing. I think we should sign the free trade agreement that was already promised last January. I think we have to keep our naval forces going through the Taiwan Strait every year. And just, we've got companies on the ground there, like Northland Power is there in the wind farms off the coast of Taiwan. And just be there and not be afraid of what China will do. We have our own independent relationship with Taiwan, which we've had for 150 years, and we should just keep going strong as we have been.
All right, Doctor. Looks like we've got a quick 20 seconds left here, but what are you watching for as these tensions continue between Taiwan and the Chinese government?
Yeah, so basically, I'm concerned that China may continue with their wolf diplomacy. I think that the diplomats like to score points back home, and lots more pressure on Canada, We just saw Chinese diplomats in Manchester in the UK who manhandled protesters in front of their consulate. And I think we should be watching very carefully about the behavior of Chinese diplomats in our own country.
All right, Dr. Simon, thank you again for joining us today on Forum Daily.
Okay, thank you very much.